Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2020 mid-month general reading. This reading is for our twins, the lovely air sign of Gemini, for the last half of June. Welcome everyone. I hope that you are all safe and well and sane in the midst of the virus, the pandemic, the restrictions, politics, protests. I hope everyone is managing to stay all right in the midst of what I know is a lot of anxiety and stress and fear of the unknown and everything. And I hope that all of you can find at least a little bit of time in each of your days to, take some time to do something you find enjoyable and pleasurable and kind of distracting, because that kind of helps keep our our mental health somewhat level as well. So thank you too for all of you who have continued to do so much towards support of this channel, liking, sharing, subscribing, donating, reaching out for personal readings, or just taking the time to tune into the videos and watch them. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so this reading is for the air sign of Gemini for the last half of June 2020. Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Rising, Venus, if you're cross-watching for a Gemini. If you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, watch them all, because each one can provide, additional bits of information and clarification to help you navigate through, this time and whatever's going on in your life, because general readings, of course, always resonate a little differently for everyone. So if you know all of your signs, watch them if you can. If any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something, get information about that, you just click on the description link below, click on the little arrow that pulls down info. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Just send me an email. I can usually respond within the same day or the first 24 hours. And I do readings full time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule and my schedule to get readings set up for you as quickly as possible. So send me an email if you're interested. Okay, Gemini, let's see what the last half of June has in store for you. For those of you who need to know, want to know, I'm using Legacy of the Divine Tarot. Okay, we begin with the Four of Coins, also known as Pentacles in other decks, followed by Faith, which in other decks is sometimes known as the Hierophant or the Pope. Although here it's Cyril Marchetti changed the name to Faith, and he put, four of the main or major religious faiths here. So it's really just about faith fundamentally. We have the Page of Swords, followed by the Page of Coins. Looks like you might be starting something new, Gemini, or beginning to put, or maybe in the beginning stages of putting something that you've been learning, studying, working on into practical application. From the bottom of the deck, from the bottom of the deck, overall energy and focus for the last half of June is the Ace of Wands. Lots of kind of new beginning energy here. And that's your overall energy and focus for the last half of June, is the Ace of Wands. So Wands in the tarot is governed by the element of fire. And regardless of the card in the suit of fire of Wands, the energy of fire of the suit of Wands is all about change, movement, action, power, passion, enthusiasm, desire, activity, travel, creative energy, artistic energy. It's the energy of creation, basically. Very lovely, fiery, aggressive, assertive energy. And aces represent, of course, the number one, the start of something new, a new opportunity in front of you, should you choose to take it. Because I also look at aces not just as a little extra good luck fairy dust, but they represent seeds, and inside a seed holds the potential of its full fruition. But in order for that to come to full fruition, that seed has to be planted and taken care of, watered, fed, pruned, sometimes doctored, all of that kind of stuff in order to get it to a point where it flowers and blossoms and fruits and eventually ends up giving back to us and others. So it all begins with that seed, with that ace, with that opportunity. This is exciting, passion, artistic, creative endeavor. Maybe starting on a new path, it looks like. But maybe keeping it kind of to yourself a little bit. You might be, because there's two pages here, which, you know, can represent, pages can represent young people, messengers, because that's what their role was in the medieval world. Pages were usually young people sent as runners to deliver messages, so they can represent messages. But they represent, you know, the energy of someone, chronologically or not, who's at kind of the beginning part of a path. They're student apprentice energy, so they're still learning, they're gaining information, and they're kind of in that transitional in between beginning introductory path phase of taking what they're learning, what they've learned and what they're learning, and putting it into practical application. So you have two of those pages, so a dual energy there. And prior to that, so we're looking at around the middle of June or the third week or so of June, we have the Four of Coins and Faith. So you may be keeping things for a little while, a little sort of undercover-ish. I'm kind of getting this, not exactly like, I mean, there's no Seven of Swords here that I see, which is secrecy and concealment. But the Four of Swords can represent hoarding or keeping something to yourself, holding something to you because it's precious and it makes you feel secure and stable, which is basically what the suit of coins is about, or pentacles. In the tarot, the suit of coins or pentacles is governed by the element of earth, and earth is earthy, and it usually represents the physical structure of our life, if not our physical self, the physical structure of our day-to-day life, the things in our lives that make us feel stable, secure, grounded, gives us a sense of continuity, the efforts we put into attaining those things. So often it can point to things like money, finance, financial and material things, job, resources, assets, people that make us feel grounded, long-term relationships, you know. And here in the Four of Coins, sometimes this represents, I see this come up when somebody has lost quite a bit in the past, and because of that, they're very careful about what they have. They might be, you know, it sometimes used to be referred to as the miser card. You know, it can represent being, you know, very economically wise, even frugal, because you don't want to lose what you have. But it can, it represents holding on to what makes you feel safe, solid, stable, reliable, or you know, gives that sense of continuity, whether it's actual financial and material things or relationships or something else, you know. Because maybe you've lost before in this area of your life, or maybe you've been disappointed before, etc., and you're holding your hopes and all of those hopes and fears and everything kind of close to your chest. Because what clarifies it is faith. You know, faith, regardless of whether it's actual religious path or, you know, it can also represent the establishment, tradition, cultural roots of origin, the rules that the large groups belong to and follow, you know, but on a simplistic level, especially in this deck, because it's labeled just faith rather than the Hierophant or the Pope, it represents having faith in a certain path that you're walking, or a certain, you know, ideology that you believe in that you're walking. You're having faith in that, and you're holding that very close to your chest here. And then we have these two pages, the Page of Swords and the Page of Coins. So this is the Page of Air, which is mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. This page is an intellectual, a scholar's. He's all about getting the information or delivering just the message, the information, the news, you know. But I'm not getting much of messages here, although they may be, you know, relevant for some of you. But I'm getting more, especially with both of these pages, one of air and one of earth, so practical application, practical things, and information on what to do and how to put something together in a practical way, how to begin something, being at the beginning stage. That's what I'm getting more than anything else, not actual messages so much as the energy of these two pages combined. I'm learning, I'm getting this information and knowledge. I might not be telling people I'm learning or getting this information or knowledge, and I'm trying to figure out how to take it and put it into practical application in the beginning of what a vision that I have, because you have some kind of idea or vision for something, Gemini. It's clear here in the Ace of Wands, the start. It's something that feels, exciting, you're passionate about, it's enthusiastic, it could be creative or artistic endeavors, a job, work, certification, school, licensing, just about anything really. You could apply this to relationships or love, but I'm really feeling no connection to that. It's more like, I decided that I'm going to do the thing. I've decided that I'm going to be the thing. I've decided that I'm going to start learning the skills on how to do the thing, whether it's become a nurse, a doctor, play the guitar, find the cure for cancer, learn how to speak French. I mean, anything could be the thing for you because this is a general reading. You're learning, and you're in the process of learning and trying to figure out how to use it in a practical way, putting it into practical application. You're excited about it and you have hopes for it, but it feels like you're kind of keeping it, kind of to yourself. For some of you, faith, whatever that represents for you, a path that you're walking, an ideology, whether it's an actual religious ideology or something else that you have faith in, that may be what you're walking in, and that's giving you support, and that's helping you kind of contain this. Yeah, I don't feel a connection to love and romance here or much relationship energy. It feels more like it connects to work, career, or some kind of project, some kind of new thing that you're starting. Let's clarify this Ace of Wands. Another ace, the Ace of Cups. So not only do you feel passionate, enthusiastic, and driven about this, but it's emotionally lovely too, because the Ace of Cards represents new emotional opportunities, the heart beginning to open up again, emotional renewal within an existing situation. It can sometimes represent new love and romance, but I'm just kind of not feeling that here. Although there are 2 pages, it could be something to do with child or children or conception or getting pregnant. But yeah, I feel like it's more a new project or something of that sort. Let's clarify this 4 of Coins. What is it that you're holding on to or hoarding or keeping to yourself? What is this 4 of Coins? The 3 of Wands. Okay, so the 3 of Wands, we're still pretty early on in the path. We're at a 3, but and in spite of the fact that the energy of the Suit of Wands, which is fire and very aggressive and moving and all of that kind of stuff, change, movement, action, power, out of all of the cards in the Suit of Wands, the 3 of Wands here is probably the most patient, gestative waiting, because this represents that you've already put in some work, you've laid the groundwork, you've done your homework, you've poured some of the concrete for the foundation. You're pausing here to watch the results. You're watching kind of the ship come in, and you're feeling pretty hopeful and positive. This can also represent being at an early part of the phase or the path, but you're starting to actually see some of your work pay off. You're starting to see some manifestations of that. So you have a large goal or a project, the thing, and in order to achieve that, there's mileposts and goals that you have to meet along the way. And this card represents that you're starting to see that pay off. You're starting to see some of your efforts pay off. But again, it feels like you're sort of keeping it to yourself for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because you just don't want it revealed yet, because it's still in the infancy or baby stage, and you just don't want to show people yet because it's too vulnerable, or maybe you feel it's too precious to you. You just don't want to show it yet, and you might be concerned about, well, if it doesn't work, then I have to deal with other people knowing about that. So for the time being, I'm just kind of keeping it to myself. It could also be, or an example is, a lot of people when they first get pregnant, they don't like to tell anybody or very many people until the first trimester. You reach the end of the first trimester, just to make sure everything's okay. So it's very positive reading. Let's just take a quick peek. Let's pull one card to see what the energy after this is. Kind of a little sneak peek here. So it's kind of like, I've done all this work, I'm starting to see things pay off, I'm excited about this new thing, and I'm starting to put some things together here, and what? On the Chariot, Major Arcana card. This is movement. This is fast, powerful, successful movement. But it's also a card of determination, perseverance, and fortitude. This is kind of like you have a goal, you have something you want to do, start, attain the thing, right? And the Chariot is about staying focused on the thing and not allowing anything to get in your way. Even if you fall down 10 times, you get up the 11th time, and that may be the time you win. The Chariot represents success and winning through sheer perseverance, determination, and willpower, not giving up, staying focused on your goal. So beautiful energy, beautiful energy. I think July is going to be particularly exciting as well. So Gemini, that is your reading for the last half of June. I hope that you enjoyed it, found it useful, helpful, clarifying in some way. If you did and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading or information on a personal reading, just click on the description link below. You'll see my email address there, maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. Just send me an email. I would love to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the July 2020 general readings. Until then, Gemini, stay safe, stay well, stay as sane as you possibly can. Don't forget to take care of yourself every day. I wish you much love and peace and blessings, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.